Thank you, President
Michael. Last October, Steve and I had the opportunity to spend a wonderful Sunday at West Point. And when we toured the non-denominational chapel, I picked up the cadets' prayer. And when I read it, I said, I have to do this at Rotary someday. O God our Father, thou searcher of human hearts, help us to draw near to thee in sincerity and truth. May our religion be filled with gladness, and may our worship of thee be natural. Strengthen and increase our admiration for honest dealing and clean thinking, and suffer not our hatred of hypocrisy and pretense ever to diminish. Encourage us in our endeavor to live above the common level of life. Make us to choose the harder right instead of the easier wrong, and never to be content with a half-truth when the whole can be won. Endow us with courage that is born of loyalty to all that is noble and worthy, that scorns to compromise with vice and injustice, and knows no fear when truth and right are in jeopardy. Guard us against flippancy and irreverence in the sacred things of life. Grant us new ties of friendship and new opportunities of service. And kindle in our hearts the fellowship with those of a cheerful countenance, and soften our hearts with sympathy for those who sorrow and suffer. Help us to maintain the honor of the Corps untarnished and unsullied, and show forth in our lives the ideals of West Point in doing our duty to thee and to our country. All of which we ask in the name of the great friend and master of all. Amen.
Thank you. Thank you for thinking of Rotary even when you travel. And our song leader today is You Are My Sunshine, Arleen.
I'm ready. Let's do God Bless America. God bless America, land that I love. Stand beside her and guide her through the night with the light from above. From the mountains to the prairies, to the oceans, white with foam. God bless America, my home, sweet home. God bless America, my home, sweet home. That was great. Yep. Let's do the Pledge of Allegiance.
Thank you. You may be seated. We have a pretty packed meeting today, so we're going to move through as quickly as we can. Mike Cudiamat is our Sergeant at Arms, sir, and we have an international visiting Rotarian. So if you could give the microphone to Bob Warner. Here you go, Bob. Bob.
Thank you. Yes, we do have some internationals. Actually, we're going to go first to Calgary, Canada, our sister club, and he's going to say a few words.
Well, thank you very much. It's a pleasure to be here to visit your club again. I've been here before, and we're particularly delighted that you're involved in this Nicaragua project that we've got going in Nicaragua, and it's a great project. I'm not involved in it directly, but I do know about it. And what it is, it's a project where in a lot of countries, people that go to medical school will want to go stay in the place where they went to medical school rather than going back to their communities. So this project is financing university sites in several places in Nicaragua. And they already do this in other areas besides the medical field. And the nice thing about this is the Nicaraguans are financing the operating costs, and we're financing the capital costs. So we're limited in how deep we can get into this thing. And it's my understanding we have $178,000 US going into this operation. So that's going to be going on for some time now. Thanks.
Sure. Thank you for bringing us this opportunity.
I
Yeah, go ahead.
I was told I should introduce my wife, Ann, who looks after me, and anyway, that's Ann.
Welcome, Ann.
Thank you.
Okay.
Here's your flag to take home. She's actually guest of Karen. I've got.
And then Bob.
And now from the Philippines, we go Terry, and he's going to say a few words.
Thank you for the warm welcome. I was so excited to attend this meeting this morning. I even forgot my reading glasses. When I got to the door, there was an alarm going on. I thought, uh-oh, they won't let us in. So, anyway, last Tuesday, I met President Russell at the meeting downtown, and he asked me to come over and appreciated the invitation. He was one of the true Rotarians. He said to introduce me to your international project manager. And the one reason I'm here is to find a partner overseas, because Rotary International or TRF is requiring us to find overseas partner to request some grants to fund our projects. And I heard President Russell that you are so desperate looking for a club overseas that you can help. So that's me. And I kind of jokingly asked Rotary International, is it, I thought we were going through by four-way test. Is it beneficial or fair for me and my partner overseas? Because when I give, or when we donate, you don't ask for anything. But when I request, you ask for something for me to do. And this is do this.
Sure.
And Mike Cudiamat.
So you've met Melanie, right? So you guys can talk offline.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
And my club is so small. We're composed of 22 members, located in the province of Pampanga, where big U.S. Air Force base used to be.
Sure. Thank you.
I am now the president of that club. Thank you.
Thanks for visiting. And then Bob, is that it? Okay, let's move on to visiting Rotarians. Visiting Rotarians?
Hi, I'm Dallas Lee Brower from the most northern Rotary Club in the United States, Barrow, Alaska. It's called Barrow Nuvok. I was here once before, but this time I actually brought my flag for you, and I don't know if you have one with a whale, but here it is.
Okay. Sounds like a whale of a time.
Absolutely. And
you guys loved it. You know it.
Oh. And I work with the Inupiat community of the Arctic Slope. It is a federally recognized tribal regional government. Most people do not realize that when it's a federally recognized tribe, we are treated as a foreign country. Our sovereignty is recognized, and we work with the federal government on a consultation-to-consultation basis. I direct the Regional Vocational Rehabilitation Program, and I'm also a tribal veterans representative, though I also assist all veterans. And for those who are here, thank you all for your service.
Thank you. Thanks for visiting. And then we have another visiting Rotarian over there. Wait for the microphone.
Good afternoon. My name is Bill Haley. I'm in how's this? The Tallahassee, Florida Rotary Club, and send our greetings to you. I have a banner that I'd like to exchange with you, and it's in the back of my car out in the parking lot. I'll bring it to you after the meeting.
Sure. Thank you.
And this is my wife, Irene, who travels with me and has been doing so for 57 years.
Thank you.
Congratulations.
Any other visiting Rotarians over here?
Thank you. My name is Tony Holmes, and I'm a neighbor to my Barrow Rotary Club. I'm from Anchorage International. And for all those people who have asked, this club will be my new home club when I finish my traveling, as long as you'll accept me.
Good choice. Good choice. Okay, let's move on to guests of Rotarians.
And I have as my guest Chan Lamb. Chan is interested in Rotary and visiting our club today, so act right and do good. So he likes us a lot, okay?
Sure. Guests of Rotarians?
Hi, good afternoon, Rotarians and guests. Dave Thorson here. I have 3 guests, and you'll be hearing from them momentarily. I have Rob Wills, fellow water polo player. All 3 are retired Metro PD officers. Kurt Wildman, I like Wildman, that's better. And Al Salinas, and he's also the vice president of security at Golden Gaming currently. The other 2 guys are retired and living the life of Riley. So welcome to the Las Vegas Rotary.
Thank you. More guests of Rotarians? Then I would like to introduce my guests at the head table. Teresa Petranovich works as a marketing specialist for Chicago Title. Before moving here, she worked for the Denver Broncos for 22 years as Director of Entertainment and Cheerleaders. I don't know what that means, Director of Cheerleaders, but she was that. And she also worked for the IMG Academy in Florida, running their foundation, as well as the Rio Olympics in 2016. She enjoys watching her daughter Tate play tennis for Clemson U, and in addition to Rotary, Teresa volunteers locally with Girls on the Run and One Night for One Drop. Joining her is Jaime Goldsmith, who graduated from Missouri State University and worked for the Hilton Company for 9 years. In 2009, she moved to Las Vegas to attend Le Cordon Bleu and gained culinary experience with Iron Chefs Kerry Simon and Mario Batali at the Bellagio. She is currently the catering sales manager at Treasure Island, and besides being the co-chair for Wine to Water and SOAR, Jamie enjoys playing piano, collecting antiques, and competing in beauty pageants. She is the current reigning Miss Nevada American Elegance. And then the thorn between the 2 roses is Tyler Wistisen, who is an Eagle Scout, who grew up in a small town in Wyoming and moved to Las Vegas to be a member of the UNLV men's swimming and diving team. He's a project manager with SH Architecture and currently serves the Nevada National Guard as a troop commander for an armored cavalry scout unit. His hobbies include cycling, gardening, and helping his wife get things off the top shelf. Please join me in welcoming all our visiting Rotarians and guests. Okay, Mike, we got to rush through these announcements. If you could take the microphone to past President Karen Whisenhunt to give us feedback on the Mayor's Cup and potentially Open World.
Yeah, just a couple of things. First of all, thank you to the host families and the Rotarians who came to watch the boys play. You know, we were celebrating 10 years of participating with this team this year. When the German team first came, they are what put the internationalism into the international soccer team, soccer tournament. And they were the team to beat. Well, they got beat this year. We got knocked out on Sunday. And I'm sure us host families were not at all disappointed that we didn't have to play on Monday when it was cold. Anyway, the boys were wonderful, great little guests in our homes, and thank you again to all the host families in this club for supporting such a great project. Most of you got an email on urgency of an Open World delegation from Russia that are arriving in 2 weeks from now. They were, another Rotary Club dropped the ball on it, so they tried to drop it on us. And we decided that we do not have enough time to do a proper job, and we don't want to be known as the club that doesn't do a great job. So we've declined doing Open World in 2 weeks from now, and we'll look at it again later in the year.
So
Thank you, Michael.
basically, we're not opening the Russia investigation.
No.
Right?
That may be why I couldn't get host families, because they heard that they rigged the election or something like that.
Got you. Thanks, Karen. And now I'm going to invite to the front Jaime Goldsmith to give her director report.
Hello, fellow Rotarians. I am your fellowship director. And the events that we have done, we had a tailgate party for a UNLV game on September 30th. It was catered by Anil Melnick's Be With The Twist Catering Company. Beef brisket, barbecue chicken, and veggie burgers were enjoyed along with baked mac and cheese. We have an upcoming putting tournament that past President Karen Whisenhunt is planning for us. Also, we had a fabulous holiday party at the most awesome casino on the Strip, Treasure Islands. Dinner included past hors d'oeuvres, surf and turf. We had a DJ that played some James Brown, so President Michael Gordon and Sean Norda could break it down on the dance floor. And then after the party, we all migrated to the Breeze Bar, where scotch was consumed along with cigars. The Shakespeare Festival was organized by Ginger Anderson. It's the Utah Shakespeare Festival. Productions such as As You Like It, Romeo and Juliet, Shakespeare in Love were on the playbill. Also, we had an Alpine picnic hosted by the 25 Club at past President Tom Thomas's fabulous cabin at Lee Canyon. Several Rotarians pitched in and planted trees, and there was a lot of good food and fellowship. We also had a spouses luncheon on August 11th at Marche Bacchus. We had about 15 people. Past President Karen Whisenhunt updated the spouses on all the upcoming events. We have another one tomorrow at Grapevine Restaurant at 11:30. And there is a debunking party being organized by past President Dave Thorson, but that is top secrets until the day. Thank you very much.
Thank you. And speaking of past President Dave Thorson, I would like to call him to the front to introduce our visitor for a quick presentation.
Good afternoon, everyone. Again, Al Salinas is going to come up here and give a brief presentation. As I've said, Rob and I play water polo together, known each other for many, many years. And he's done several cross-country runs where he and other members of Metro and the fire department run or bike cross-country. I think he's crazy. He's done this several times. Come on up, Al. And Al's going to talk about a little program that I thought you would find interesting. So, real quickly.
Yes. Thank you very much for this opportunity. I'm a retired Las Vegas Metropolitan Police Department deputy chief. I spent 29 years on our department. That was 2 years ago. I was enjoying retirement until my wife said, I've updated your resume, and I'm now the vice president of security for Golden Gaming. I'm here to talk to you about After the Badge. After the Badge is a bicycle team comprised of 4 members presently of our, actually we're going to go to 6, I believe. We have 6 members now of all retired police officers, detectives, lieutenants that ride a charity event every year called the Police Unity Tour. And I just wanted to, here we go. Our team is, like I said, it's comprised of retired police officers presently. We're looking for any current members that are with the police department. Hopefully next year we'll increase our numbers to 8. The mission of the Police Unity Tour is to raise awareness for all officers that have lost their lives in the line of duty. And the second effort is to raise funds for the National Memorial Police Museum in Washington, D.C. This is done every year. It's been done every year since back in 1997 when a single police officer got 18 officers together and they rode from New Jersey, Florham Park, New Jersey, to the memorial in Washington, D.C. They did it without fanfare. They did it with nothing but contributions from the private sector and from citizens and family members. The officers' vision, the awareness of it, raised now, there's 9 chapters as part of the Police Unity Tour that's conducted every year. We are Chapter 4 from Las Vegas, Southern Nevada, and we ride from Richmond, Virginia to Washington, D.C. It's 230 miles over 3 days, and trust me, it's hard. But the Police Unity Tour in 2017 raised $2.6 million for the museum. And overall, they've raised nearly $23 million for the museum. And the museum is to honor those officers and all officers that have worn the badge, protected their communities, and unfortunately those that have sacrificed their lives. It's hopefully completed in fall of 2018, and it's going to have interactive exhibits that will give you a snippet, if you will, of what it is to be a police officer for the day. And it's going to be right in the middle of Washington, D.C. Again, this is just a little 2-minute segment.
Welcome home to your National Law Enforcement Officers Memorial. Welcome to 2017 National Police Week. Thank you and congratulations for what you've just accomplished.
Welcome all my brothers and sisters, and I mean that sincerely. As you see, this is truly a united group.
I wish the whole nation was here to see the best of America's finest, because that's who you are, and we appreciate you. Fallen heroes of America, who will never, ever be forgotten, always honored and remembered here at the National Memorial because of people like you that refuse to let them be forgotten, and their families. We can never forget their families. We support them, and what you've done, you've honored them.
Family, as I stand before you, I will always walk with you, ride with you, and if I had to, I'd die for you. And for the family that is on this wall, the 21,000 names, they did just that. We brought awareness to every name on this memorial wall, and we do what we say we're going to do. We don't forget them.
I want to thank you from the bottom of my heart for what you've done to support the Memorial Fund, for the friendships we've made together. And I thank you, and may God bless you for what you do every day to keep America safe, to honor the fallen and their families, and to support the National Law Enforcement Officers Memorial Fund. Thank you.
Again, we are after the badge. We ride every year. Again, if you want to get more information on it, it's policeunitytour.com. Chapter 4. We are Chapter 4. Please remember Chapter 4. It's all done with private funding. It's all done with donations. And whatever we can't cover, it comes out of pocket. So again, I thank you for your time. I thank you for your support. Thank you very much.
Oh, no. Thank you. Thank you, Chief. And then our club is a strong supporter of the military and law enforcement through our Wetzel Awards, but then also every year we participate in SOAR, the Safety Officer Awards recognition. And to make a quick announcement about that, I'm going to call to the front again, Jaime Goldsmith.
Hello, fellow Rotarians. We have actually started our committee meetings. We are meeting every third Wednesday at Tommy Rockers on Dean Martin. Anyone who is interested in being a part of the committee is welcome to join us. So we meet at noon.
Thank you. And then since this is the last Thursday of the month, it's also the day that I hand out the four-way test coin to a member of our club who went above and beyond in their duties. So this month, the coin goes to Kirk Alexander. So Kirk, if you could come to the front. As you all know, Kirk has been involved for many years in our home building efforts in Tecate, Mexico. And when our partner organization withdrew for this year, Kirk stepped up immediately and found another organization to help with that. In addition to that, Kirk is also runs our youth agent vocational committee, doing everything with TLC, RILA, the Interact Symposium, our Interact clubs, and all of that. I don't know when he works, but Kirk, thank you for your service. you.
Thank you very much.
Want to say something?
You know, all you got to do is something that you really love. It comes by real easy, and we have a whole lot of fun with it. We are going to build a house with Project Mercy on the 2nd of June. Hope to see some of you there.
Thank you. And then now we have to start early, so we're going to go to our four-way speech contest now, and then we will do the club announcements when the judges deliberate. So to lead us with that, I'm going to call to the front past president, Brock Fraser.
Thank you, Michael. I'm really honored to have this opportunity to lead these youngsters in this four-way speech contest. We're always thrilled every year with the quality and the depth of information that these youngsters come up with. And so today, again, we look for more inspiring words from these youngsters. Before we get started, I'd like to ask that you kindly silence your phones. We do this for the sake of our speakers who have practiced long and hard, and we'd hope that you'd respect this. So at this point, we have 3 judges. They are non-Rotarians. They come from Toastmasters. We will introduce them once we complete the competition. They come from Toastmasters, so they know what they're talking about. Our speakers have between 6 and 8 minutes. Steve Linder will be our timekeeper, and he will manage that part. So, at this point, I'd like to ask our speaker number 1. We don't know names or any schools or anything at this point. Speaker number 1 to come forward and give us your presentation.
Test. I have to use a mic. Test. Test. I think I'll just hold it. Test. Thank you. Leonardo da Vinci once said, "Water is the driving force of all nature." His words speak the truth, as 60% of the adult human body is made up of water. 71% of the Earth's surface is covered in water, and 3 to 4 days is the average amount of time a human can go without water. Water is proven to be one of the most essential factors for human life. Water, however, reminds me of going out with my father late at night to fill up our empty 5-gallon jugs. We would go to the water mill, which contains clean, purified water, and fill them up. My father and I would talk while we waited for the jugs to be filled up, and after we would finish, we would go home and eat the dinner my mother had prepared for us. My sisters and I would often complain about who would have to switch to the old jug with the new jug because we found it tedious and tiresome and too bothersome. To this day, my dad and I still go out late at night to fill up our water jugs and go get water that has helped sustain my family. The easy access to water that the United States of America has makes people take water for granted. We forget how different it is for other countries to survive because of the different circumstances that they face. Rotary International is making a difference by providing clean water to countries that face circumstances. Rotary International, a dedicated foundation, proves its action through the four-way test. First, by being truthful and fair to all concerned. Next, by building goodwill and better friendships. And ultimately, being beneficial to those in need. The Rotary Foundation tells the truth about water contamination in several countries that face problems. Water pollution is a serious problem in Lebanon, and Rotary has helped support children who live near there by providing clean water. In 2013, Rotary decided to install new water tanks and water filters in a few nearby schools in northern Lebanon. These have been established in more than 200 schools and have provided students with clean water. These actions have enabled students to go to school in a healthier manner and go with a lowered risk of disease. With an ongoing crisis in Syria, Lebanon's population is being bombarded with several refugees, including many school-aged children. By providing clean water to these schools in Lebanon, the children who have been forced to leave their war-torn country are nevertheless able to get the education that they deserve. Rotary in 3 years hopes to achieve their goal of helping 1,535 schools and give all of those students opportunities for a better life. Rotary notices the problems of countries who cannot provide by themselves and is making a difference by fighting for the clean water and fairness. In addition to telling the truthful situations of countries who cannot have clean water, the Rotary Foundation is building goodwill and better friendships. Rotary International has helped countries in need of clean water by collaborating with the United States Agency of International Development. The interaction that Rotary has with other awe-inspiring foundations has allowed them to build better friendships and goodwill. In 2015, USAID and Rotary International helped raise up to $4 million, with each providing half of the funds. This has helped strengthen bonds with several other organizations similar to Rotary. This collaboration has built a stable friendship that has helped support Ghana, Uganda, and Madagascar. Rotary seeks to raise $200,000 for each country by 2018 as part of its $2 million goal. These accomplishments have allowed for new connections and friendships to be established in the different countries who rely on Rotary's support. Rotary has given all this aid, and through goodwill alone created WASH, a pilot program dedicated to develop sustainable water, sanitation, and hygiene. This program recruits teachers who are trained in several hygiene matters so that they can make them into lessons and put them into curriculums for students. Rotary wants to help improve the conditions of countries that don't have access to clean water, and in doing so, they must ally with other organizations in order to spread this goodwill. Although creating these amazing programs has led to making an impactful difference, those who benefit from Rotary are a crucial part of Rotary's actions. Rotary goes all across the globe to help children, adults, anyone who suffers without water. Lake Erie in 2014, the source of drinking water for millions of people, was once contaminated with a toxic algae that left nearly 500,000 people without water. As soon as possible, Rotary took action and got involved so that millions of people wouldn't have to agonize about the next time they'd be able to have access to clean water. Rotarians began to assist in all sorts of ways. They took up research plans so they could figure out the obstacle and fix it. Many took their own approach and even helped in their own way. Blake Vince, a farmer and Rotarian from Ontario, Canada, took precautions to measure the nutrients in his runoff so they would not affect the environment. As a farmer, I'd rather be part of the problem than part of the solution. I'd rather be part of the solution than part of the problem. Rotary International's desire is to make sure that situations like this can never happen again. Children have also benefited from these events in the form of education by learning about water concerns and how to identify them. Rotary members and students have studied how to test the quality of water and how by using an app that examines the water you are consuming. Rotary International makes sure that not just countries, but small communities can benefit and receive the help they rightfully deserve. Rotary International is making a difference, day by day, by providing clean water to refugee children, by promoting health programs and supporting small communities. This has been proven by seeing them support people all over the world and accomplishing the four-way test of being truthful, fair, beneficial, and creating friendships along the way. Rotary reveals to us the harsh truth about Lebanon's circumstances and is giving fair chances to children. Rotary has built amazing friendships with other organizations in order to finish their goal of providing water where it is required. And lastly, they have worked their hardest to support people by creating all types of solutions that anyone can benefit from them. We forget how easy our access to water is in the United States and only ponder living without it when it is taken away from us. President Barack Obama once said, "Change will not come if we wait for some other time or some other person. We are the ones we have been waiting for. We, all of us here, are the change we seek." He looks ahead to the future, just as Rotary does. Rotary took that extra step, took action, moved forward with its ideal dreams of change, and thought about their plans to provide water. It didn't have to have water taken away from them or wait for some other person or some other time. For Rotary International pursued its goal and never faltered in its decision for a better world.
Great start. We are now ready for our contestant number 2. These contestants are vying for some scholarship money, and they go on. The winner goes on from this level to a couple more levels before ultimately reaching the winner, reaching the district conference, where they compete for some real serious money. So, number 2.
The one way to make peace in this world is to give it to each other. In today's society, the world is filled with hate, disrespect, and violence. Each and every day, many people wake up and live their lives like robots. Get up, go to work or school, go home, and go to sleep. Whatever free time people have is spent online, browsing the internet or social media, and asking themselves the same question: why is that not me? Following this vicious cycle, hate grows stronger within many. In fact, it is this sense of repetition that makes many people feel useless, comparing their lives to other people through the internet. Rotary International, one of the world's largest service organizations, preserves the human sentiment and the value of interpersonal collaboration through projects and teamwork, redefining what it means to have a purpose in this technological day and age. Everyone has their struggles, whether it's lacking a purpose in life, living through the internet, or not having the basic necessities to live. Rotary International matches 1.2 million volunteers with those in need to help alleviate these struggles. From mental health to food to peace, Rotary is there to help in a time of need. This dedication to serving humanity is what drives others to take action. Rotarians form a group which encourage others to be kind and giving while continuing with service themselves. They take pride in their work and seek to make the world a better place. The whopping 1.2 million member organization is the result of one man's goal to serve humanity, Paul P. Harris. This Chicago attorney founded one of the most diverse and outgoing service clubs to have ever existed, and this was one of the first service clubs in the world. Rotary is ongoing, tough, and truly international. Even international warfare doesn't stop Rotary from doing what's right. It's easy to stand by and do nothing, but nothing grand ever came out of standing by and waiting for change. Rotarians don't stand by and watch history, they make history and partake in historical events. Today, many people and organizations try to solve problems by throwing money at the issue. But what Rotary can offer goes far beyond the value of money. Donald Adams, military officer and Rotary supporter, once said, "To give real service, you must add something which cannot be bought or measured with money, and that is sincerity and integrity." an international multi-district project comprised of 5 Rotary clubs from Turkey and Russia collaborated with the Down Syndrome Association to train children and adults with Down syndrome. These participants learned how to apply effective communication and cooperation strategies to improve their everyday lives and hone job skills. Projects like these take compassion and heart, not just money. It's easy to make a buck. It's a lot tougher to make a difference. In fact, these words can be found within every Rotary project, emphasizing just how much Rotary is making a difference. Every Rotarian holds the heart of another. In fact, it's incredibly conspicuous how Rotary International has saved millions of lives in pursuit of the greater good. What's not so obvious, however, is that Rotary International is changing the lives of everyday Americans daily. To analyze the effect that Rotary has on everyday people, consider the meaning of the word Rotary itself. Per the dictionary, Rotary is the action of revolving around a center axis. This idea of rotation is the founding principle of Rotary International. Many decades ago, in the early 1900s, when Wi-Fi, laptops, and smartphones didn't exist, Paul Harris came up with the idea of having professional leaders meet face-to-face in an effort to make a difference in the community. The organization arose from this early practice of rotation, with members switching meeting locations between their offices. As time has progressed, the value of face-to-face communication in society has plummeted. In this technological day and age, making eye contact and giving someone even a simple hello are becoming scarce abilities. What Rotary International does for its members is preserve the old-fashioned ways of communication and building better friendships. Michael Buca, a member of the Rotary Club and Central Ocean's Toms River, located in New Jersey, writes about his experience as a 32-year-old member of a 110-year-old organization. He writes, quote, "You might think I would be preoccupied with trying to modernize my club's way of doing things. But remarkably, my experience with Rotary is teaching me to spend more energy convincing my generation, which keeps trying to reinvent everything, that there is much to be gained in the lost art of personal communication," unquote. Furthermore, an organization like Rotary helps people meet local business leaders. Becoming a member helps individuals practice social skills and interpersonal communication. These are the kind of relationships that many Rotarians find that last a very long time. One example of a Rotary initiative that helps with communication and relationship building is the mentoring program, where students from Rotary clubs are paired with CEO mentors in St. Joseph, Michigan. More than 400 high school students have been partnered with CEO mentors in their particular field of interest. After the program, students formed 6 new Interact clubs with their various high schools, drawing an abundance of new members and advancing Rotary initiatives. Preserving the human sentiment is how Rotary is making a difference in this growing technological day and age. Through the Rotary 4-way test, it is clear that building relationships and interpersonal communication skills in today's society is truly what makes a difference. First, is it the truth? Turning off the cell phone and bringing people to work together on something to better our society is not only a rewarding experience, but it bolsters our self-confidence and leads to a more collaborative and innovative workspace. Second, is it fair to all concerned? All Rotarians around the globe work with people and projects, as well as initiatives that are advancing society and helping to eliminate human suffering or struggle. Third, will it build goodwill and better friendships? Rotary's impact in today's tech era is best seen in this category, building goodwill and better friendships. Challenging people to meet strangers, talk to other people they don't know, is how the most special and natural relationships form, despite what we might think clinging to our cell phones. Fourth, is it beneficial to all concerned? Personal connections these days are rare. Most relationships we see are artificial. However, Rotary's involvement in society has helped and will continue to help people make the best friendships possible. Heroes come in all shapes and sizes. They don't always have $1 million to their name or bodies of stone. Heroes are everyday people with a defining purpose and passion, because there's nothing more powerful than people with willpower making a difference in today's world.
Another fine. Wow. No, it's an anti-rust, Mike. And now we're ready for contestant number 3, please.
What is the cornerstone of everything we do? Well, for the Rotarians, it's a 4-way test. But for the rest of the world included, it's education. One of the reasons why I'm here today is to explain the importance of education, especially Rotarians, and to everyone involved. Because not only is education the cornerstone of our society, but it's also the way in which we see more Rotarians coming out. The very existence of this competition is to show, as pointed out in many of the informative forms, that you want new Rotarians coming in. But how are you going to get those Rotarians if those Rotarians aren't educated to be helpful societies and members of their societies in these clubs? I'm going to explain today what it means to actually make a change. The prompt given to me was, how do we make a difference? How do we plan on actually making a difference? Well, the point of the difference is to change the status quo. Simply being complacent in what we have right now is something that we can't allow, Rotarians or not, because of the fact that being complacent is one of the reasons why we create problems for ourselves. How do we actually plan on solving these problems? Firstly, I would like to analyze how not only can we utilize the fairness and the truth to see the problems in our education system, but to also analyze the ways in which we can solve them. First of all, we use the 4-way system in order to analyze the problems in our education by seeing, first of all, what is the truth behind it? Well, just looking at our very own country, we can see that it's not only ranked 38th in the entire world in terms of education, but there are also countries well outside of ours, countries that may have Rotarian clubs that have lackluster standards of education in comparison with their GDP. But what does this actually say about our country, and what does it say about the countries that other Rotarian clubs may be involved in? Well, it says that there's something that we need to actually do to change this. Not only are there issues with education in our very own country and in our very own state, but there's also issues in other countries as well. One of these issues is the fact of underfunding. We have to look at this issue not only in the sense that we can see that Rotarians in general not only help in many different countries in terms of building schools and actually educating people in general on what it means to be a helpful member of society, we can also see that it not only affects the person's growth method, but it also analyzes itself through the 4-way method. First of all, is it the truth? Truth is the basis of all education. Without truth, we have no education at all. What is the point of teaching someone something that isn't true? There is none. Next, we have to look at the fairness of education. The point of education, especially public education, is to establish a method of fairness for all people. I come to you with an idea that not only would allow for us to increase the ways in which we can see people in our world, but not only be complacent with the ways that things are right now, because complacency leads to problems. Next, you have to look at how not only would it be beneficial in terms of its expansion of the truth, but it'd also be beneficial in its expansion of friendship. The true term and definition of divisiveness is to divide. It's to create levels in which we see different people. By creating a system in which we're all equal, we're creating a system which is not only creating more fairness within our world, but it's also building friendship through that fairness. The reason people disagree and in all senses are actually divisive in their own sense is because of the fact that we believe that some people are better or some people are worse. But by creating a system in which fairness and equality can be seen through the truth and the 4-way method that Rotarians like to promote themselves, we can truly see that education is the way in which we can see this difference. Rotarians consistently building ways in which we can see education expanding, as well as expanding education to people outside of our very own communities, are one of the ways in which we can see actual difference being made. Because at its very cornerstone, the 4-way test is much like education. By expanding its way through truth, by expanding its way through being beneficial to friendship, and its way in being fair. Thus moving on to the idea of it being beneficial. How is education, the expansiveness of education, actually beneficial to all individuals involved? It is in the sense that not only does it increase an equal field for all, but it also allows for truth and fairness to be spread. By being beneficial, it not only shows that it's inclusive in all terms, but it's also allowing for people to not only see that there is a difference in the world that can be made, but it's a very simple change that we can simply see through one of the many ways in which we go through life. A lot of Rotarians here have been through either public or private education, but I can clearly say that one of the reasons why these two forms of education exist is because of the fact that there's believed to be a difference in it. It's the idea of divisiveness in its very sense. But to solve this problem, to actually promote the idea of being true and fair to all, we must see that we not only must seek to continue to increase the ideas of expanding education, not only here in our own country, but also internationally, and to promote this idea of education, but also to see that there's not only a benefit to us right here in our very own state, but also to all involved. Now, how is education the cornerstone of our society, much like the four-way system is a cornerstone of a Rotarian club? Well, education not only is the way in which we can see all of our opinions, and one of the ways it teaches not only how we see the world around us, but also one of the ways in which we see people around us, but it also sees how we can establish a form of equalized government, an equalized form of actual society to allow for us not only to see that it's fair and true to all, but to also allow for Rotarians to establish a better system in which we can actually solve problems. Now, solving problems starts at the very core of divisiveness, because disagreements at problems lead to no compromise at all, and generally no solutions. One of the point of the existence of the Rotarian Club is to create an environment in which problems can be solved. But at its very core, education can help solve problems. And it does this by making sure that people are not only not divisive by creating a system in which all people are equal, but it also creates a system in which we can all have our opinions heard. One of the reasons why it's important to not only promote education as a Rotarian, but also as an individual and a member of society, is because it not only creates a system in which our children can learn to be accepted for their own opinions and learn to actually understand the world in general, but it also creates a society in which we're not only more accepting of others, but we also are allowing ourselves to learn more and to be more truthful with each other. The very foundation of lying is because of the fact that sometimes we don't understand things, or we just would rather not like to believe them. But by being truthful and fair to all, and by promoting education like many Rotarians do, we're not only seeing that it would be beneficial to all, but it would also build goodwill and better friendship because of the fact that by allowing for more people to be equal, we're creating a society in which more people are actually equal. And that is why I believe that at its very cornerstone, one of the reasons why Rotarians exist is to better education. And one of the ways in which we can actually see a betterment in society as well as something that would actually lead to a beneficial change would be to increasingly promote the idea of education, especially in Rotarians, but also as members of society. Thank you.
And now we are ready for contestant number 4. We have 4 contestants today. This is our final contestant.
Picture this. It's August 6th, 1945. You're about to get off of work when you receive a call. All the people, trees, and buildings around you become a blur as you hear a bomb has been dropped on Hiroshima, the city in which all of your family lives. You would later find out it was an atomic bomb, and more than 120,000 people would be killed or injured that day. The next day, you are in Hiroshima waiting at the train station. After hours of not knowing when the next train will begin again, the doors open and you get on. As you leave the train, it's dark outside. But when you look to your left, you see the remains of horses. And when you look to your right, you see piles of ashes. An hour before you walk down these streets, they had been cleared of thousands of human bodies. The horror you're seeing isn't the worst of it. As you get to your parents' home, it's destroyed. You walk to a nearby campus where you see your parents laying in a tent alive. But as you look for the other member of your family, it hits you. Not everyone was that lucky. After hours of searching, you find your sister laying dead in the bed of her mother-in-law's home. She was a school teacher. You hear a story about a group of girls at the local school. Their faces had been so badly burnt, they had not one distinguishable feature on them. The only way they could reunite with their families was by calling out one by one, "Mom, I am Kiko." 3 words, nothing will grow. These words told to the people of Hiroshima, as the soil was too damaged for anything to grow for the next 75 years. And yet, months later, a tree began to bud. This is the story of Vanessa Gavinskas, a 19-year-old at the time that this happened, who is now a devoted member of Rotary Tokyo. She began this mission to plant what she now calls peace trees. Vanessa lives by the 4-way test, but what about when she began her mission? Is it the truth? The truth is, nothing was supposed to grow for 75 years. But what was Vanessa's truth? She needed something to help her cope. Is it fair to all concerned? Vanessa allowed those affected or not by the loss to join her community. Will it build goodwill and better friendships? Vanessa's community stays strong to this day as they plant peace trees globally. And will it be beneficial to all concerned? Vanessa provided a coping mechanism for those families struggling to deal with loss. But you don't have to be a bomb survivor to make a difference. By following the 4-way test, you can make just as much a difference as Vanessa did. She is just an inspiration. People today often tell themselves they're one person. They can't make a difference. George Shaw stated, "Those who cannot change their minds cannot change anything." It is an internal change that fosters the ability to make a difference in others. In Hiroshima, trees were able to grow in soil that was supposed to be infertile for years to come. Every person has that same infertile soil in their lives, whether it be your mentality, the people you surround yourself with, or the situation you are in. The soil you are allowing to remain inside of you is preventing a tree from ever growing where it should. Jenny Uglaus stated, "We might think we are nurturing our garden, but it is our garden that is nurturing us." You become what you allow to impact you. And making a difference cannot truly come until you live by the 4-way test. In Rotary clubs around the world, people are united with others who believe in the same ideas, who too follow the 4-way test. Because Rotary Club is dedicated to ensuring that everybody has that same fertile soil to plant their trees in. Because when you walk on the path to change with those who want to join you, rather than those who try to block you, you can make a difference. Santa Claus, TLC, Ryla, and so much more, all created by simple people who joined Rotary. People who were able to impact the lives of thousands of others with one simple decision: to plant trees in healthy soil. And as we sit here today, we follow the path of those before us. Why? Because they were able to successfully make a difference in not only themselves, but in others. Tom Peters stated, "Leaders don't create more followers. They create more leaders." See, making a difference won't just impact those you intended to. Making a difference will impact the person who wants to do the same but thinks that they can't. Because as one person takes action, they give another the confidence to do the same. As one person makes a difference in the world, another will follow. I've been fortunate enough to attend several Rotary meetings and special events such as TLC in my lifetime. And I can truly say, these were experiences I will never forget. Because as I sit at the Rotary meeting table and look around and see so many people of different ages, jobs, and backgrounds, I realized this club, Rotary Club, is the biggest embodiment of making a difference that anybody and everybody can experience to the full. Is it the truth? The truth is, Rotary has been bringing communities together for over 110 years. Is it fair to all concerned? Rotary allows anyone who can help our community join, and as of today has over 1.2 million members. Will it build goodwill and better friendships? Rotary Club creates a family dedicated in making a difference through the four-way test. And will it be beneficial to all concerned? Rotary Club has donated over $3 billion to charities, families, and communities in need. Vanessa gives us one example of a Rotarian making a difference, but there are people around the world who have followed Vanessa's example and planted their version of peace trees in what others may see as infertile soil. There are Rotarians that participate in events like Santa Claus. There are Rotarians that travel to India to administer polio vaccines. There are Rotarians that travel to Mexico to build houses. There are Rotarians still that travel around the world to administer life-saving surgeries, wheelchairs, and to build wells. These are the Rotarians that have taken the four-way test from words on a page and made them into a living testament. That is Rotary. That is making a difference. Thank you.
Outstanding. Listening to these youngsters gives us a great deal of hope and enthusiasm for the future, doesn't it? At this time, our judges will retire to confer and come up with results. And during this time, do you have something you want to say?
Yeah, we have plenty.
Huh?
We got plenty.
I thought I was in charge.
We have the club announcement. So can the contestant who stole my agenda please bring it back so I know what I'm doing?
We need to introduce that.
Yeah, I'm going to use the club announcement. Yeah.
Okay.
So we can do that at the end when they come back. Yeah, so contestant, no fine, but please, I really need that agenda. So it was right here. So who got it? Somebody? Bueller? Yeah. Okay, going off memory. So car show. Mike, if you could take the microphone to President-elect Jim Cole.
Good afternoon, President Michael and fellow Rotarians. It's my pleasure to announce today that Craig Miller and Morgan Stanley have signed up to be the official sponsor of the Las Vegas Rotary Cars for a Cause show. So thank you very much.
Thank you.
And for those of you who have forgotten, it is April 15th, and we're going to have a great time down at Celebrity Cars. We could still use additional sponsors, and if you are working on the committee, we have a brief meeting after this meeting is over to discuss things to do on our list. Thanks.
Thank you. And then our club's 95th birthday party is on April 5th. There is a sign-up sheet in the Green Book. If you could take the microphone to David Squire to talk about our next highway cleanup.
Good afternoon. Next month, March 24th, 8 a.m., Red Rock. We're directly across from the entrance to Bonnie Springs for the highway cleanup. It's going to be great weather. Be there at 8 o'clock sharp. We'll get some exercise, some sun on our face. Red Rock's beautiful, and then we'll meet at Jerry's house afterwards for the famous Jerry Sent Us brunch. So, join us.
And then there we have our St. Patty's Day Cigar Social, March 16th. That is in the Wheel. Jackie Thornhill is next with our Wetzel Awards.
Hi, everyone. First quarter Wetzel Awards out at Nellis, March 8th, Thursday. This is first quarter. Remember, it's in the new building. Okay. Okay, if you need a ride into the Warfare Center, the building behind the Warfare Center, 2:30 at the Visitor Center, Las Vegas Boulevard and Craig Road, March 8th.
Thank you. And then Janice Linke, where are you? For Wine to Water.
So this Saturday, as many of you might know, because I know Jamie's been walking around promoting this, and I want to recognize Stu for all of his efforts in putting this together on your table today. But this is an incredible event. I know many people are familiar with Nora's Restaurant, incredible dining experience, but this Saturday at 6 o'clock, we'll be there enjoying a 5-course dinner. And the Master Sommelier, Joseph Phillips, information on the back for you. He's incredible, and he has a lot of background working at MGM Bellagio, and he's the Director of Educational Wine at Southern Wine and Spirits, so definitely an opportunity to come and see him. It's $75. It might sound like a lot, but it includes tax and service. This experience with him, the wines, the dinner, is $150 value, so it really is a great deal. We have 17 people. We'd like to get to our promised guarantee of 25 people. So if you've not signed up, please do so today or tomorrow morning with Jamie or Stu or myself, because we do need to let the restaurant know where we're at. But we would love to have you and love to have a good showing. So thank you to those who did sign up, and look forward to seeing the rest of you RSVP. Thanks.
Thank you. And then we quickly need to raise some money. So if you can take Lamar, where are you? Lamar Marchesi. So apparently today there was something in the newspaper, and then something is happening tonight. So
Yes.
Tell us all about it, because it's going to cost you money.
Well, yes, at the risk of a great fine, I just want to invite all of my fellow Rotarians and guests to this evening at the Sahara West Library is a photo show of my work, 30 photographs representing 22 countries from around the world, street portraits that I do. And it's tonight. There's a reception from 5:30 to 7, so people like Steve Kasich can get something to eat and drink and some fellowship at the library this evening. So I hope to see you all there. The show's up until the end of April, so if you can't make it tonight, you can make it any time in the next 2 months. Thanks.
Thank you. We're a wine drinking club, and there will be wine, right?
I don't know. The library's actually doing the reception, so I'm not sure what they're serving. But,
so maybe afterwards.
Maybe
there'll be
okay.
a social afterwards.
All right.
But thank you. Thank you for your $95 donation to our club. And then for our ticket drawing, the number is 849466. 849466. Jimmy Hunt. Past President Jim Hunt. And then for our Lowry Bucks, we have 849588. 849588. Bill Houghton, take your lovely bride for dinner. Thank you. And then Mike, if you can give the microphone to Walter for literally 60 seconds. Walter, I'm timing you. 60 seconds.
Oh, this comes as a surprise. Our club has been involved for many, many years in different projects in Cambodia, and I found out just earlier today that you're involved in one of those projects where we're doing some work in a village, trying to improve agriculture and so forth. But you'll be hearing more about some of our Cambodian involvement. We'll be coming back to you guys to help us sponsor some of these organizations. Thanks very much.
Thank you for giving us opportunities to be of service. And then Brock just walked out, so that is great. So now I got to do the tap dance, right? One thing that I did forget to mention, part of the reason why Kirk got the four-way test coin is he is our foundation member of the year and will be honored as such at the District 5300 Gala this weekend in Long Beach, California. So, Kirk, sorry for leaving that very important information, forgetting about that. And then secondly, you may remember that we had a reporter from the Rotarian magazine here a couple of months ago. They're getting ready to publish that article because I got an email to fact check a couple of facts. And so if you are a more seasoned member of our club who can remember pre-millennium days. If you could come see me, because there are some names on here of past speakers that I'm not sure if they were or were not. So if you don't mind coming here and fact-checking a couple of things so that whatever is published in the Rotarian magazine is correct, that'll be great. And with that, I'll hand it over to Past President Brock.
Thank you, Michael. We would like at this time, and we'll do it in the same order that they spoke, for each of the contestants to come up here, give us a little background on themselves, the schools they go to, what some of their aspirations are. So, speaker number one, please.
Hello, my name is Rochelle Flores. I go to the Advanced Technologies Academy. I'm 16 and I was interested in Rotary and decided this year I'd do it.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Yeah, we can do that. Stay up here now. Yeah. And could we have speaker number two, please?
Hello, my name is Alex Pilks. I also go to Advanced Technologies Academy. I'm in the Legal Studies program, and I'm 17 years old. At my school, besides competing with Rotary Speech and working with my coach, I also enjoy doing mock trial, DECA, and working with a deferment court called Trial by Peers in the Clark County with children or juveniles who have been charged with misdemeanor crimes, working to get them back on the right track. And I just want to say I'm really thankful for all of you coming today and supporting us. I mean, we've worked really hard on this, and I appreciate all of you listening. Yeah. Our coach is Mrs. Bouchard in the back, or semi-back over there. She's waving her hand.
Terrific, thank you. Do you have a coach that's here? Okay, same coach for both of them. Our third speaker, please.
Hi there, my name is Morgan Ebbers. I go to Bishop Gorman High School, coach Miss Scover over there. And my aspirations are to go into college and dual major in finance and business management, and then go into law school for environmental law. And one of the reasons why I did Rotary was because I thought, well, I mean, I could probably speak on those four things, and I'm the captain of the speech and debate team at Bishop Gorman, so I thought, I mean, maybe this is up my alley. So, plus some money. I'm not saying, I'm just speaking for all four of us here. Yeah, so I enjoy doing that. I also do. I'm also the captain of the Model UN team there. I don't do mock trial, but I mean I could probably do it. But sorry, I know someone who's a mock trial, so it's fine. Yeah, that's just one of the reasons why I did Rotary today. Thank you all for being here.
Well done. And now our fourth speaker.
Hi guys, my name is Natalie. I go to Bishop Gorman. I'm 15. I do speech and debate, and I also do mock trial. I've been I've been introduced to Rotary Club since I was very little, so doing this was just kind of another stepping stone in hopefully a good journey. I'm interested in law. I don't know exactly what kind yet. I have a few ideas, but that's kind of where I am. Thank you.
Well done. We'd like to get a group picture here. No, I don't need to be in the picture. Thank you. Go ahead and take your seats, and momentarily we'll be coming up with the results. When they return, we'll also introduce our judges. But once again, a big round of applause for these great kids, all the work that they put into it, and what they share with us.
Thank you. So while we have time, let's raise a couple more bucks for the foundation. So, Mike, where are you? If you could take the microphone to somebody we haven't seen in some time. Jason Buckley. Sir.
What do we got going on?
Yes, good to see you.
Hey, good to see you too.
Welcome back to the club. We love seeing you back. We love members who pay their dues and don't show up to lunch so that we can, pay for other guest lunches. So thank you for your service in that regard, but we also like to see you
Thank
here.
you for the opportunity to be able to pay for other people's lunches and fines and stuff like that. Very honored. So just let me know what I need to do for you, and I'll take care of it.
Sure. So you mentioned that your company is expanding, and now you may have some free time. You want to tell us more about that?
The company is definitely expanding. The free time part, sure, I got a little bit. So, but things are going really well. They are.
You may as well mention it and where it is because it's going to cost you. So here's your one
this
shot.
Is my this is the advertisement part. All right, fantastic. I own a technology company that provides IT solutions to small and medium-sized businesses in town. We started about 3 years ago, and we essentially take over the IT responsibilities for small to medium-sized businesses and just make sure that their computers, servers, backups, antivirus, everything runs smoothly and allow them to succeed in business without having to worry about the IT part. So,
and you also help our own Sean Norda's computer capabilities, correct?
I did, Sean, and I still owe you a little bit more help, so you just let me know afterwards, and I'll take care of that.
Sure. So thank you for your service, and thank you for your $95 donation to our foundation.
You are welcome. Thanks for...
You're welcome. And then Francesca has an announcement.
I have a quick find. I heard that someone ran the Saints and Sinners half marathon this weekend.
Run is a term.
I mean,
variable.
I saw pictures of the finish line, and they looked like someone was running. Do you know anything about this, President Michael?
Yes, it was downhill, and it sucked. Let me just...
You might as well talk. It's going to cost you $95, so tell us all about it.
I don't think that is allowed. I don't think that's in the rules. This is not how this works.
All right, well, you know what, guys? I tried, okay? I tried. So.
I thought it was going to be easy, Francesca. I saw a downhill half marathon, and I said, man, I should run this thing. It's going to be easy. But my hips were hurting on Sunday, and I was not happy. Thank you. Thank you. So any other fines, cross fines, that anybody want to give? No? Kirk, do you want to tell us about the 25 Club? I cannot see that far. Oh, I'm getting this stop. I'm getting the stop. Kirk, do you want to tell us about the 25 Club and what is happening there? Upcoming socials, anything you guys have? Well...
So 25 Club is the club within our club of all the new members. We meet the first Thursday of every month here at Lowry's at 11:15 before lunch. It's a great way to... Oh, and look, it's time's up. Next week we'll be meeting, right? Yeah, because it'll be the first. And we throw on a monthly social. We had a great social last time at Tommy Bahama that was organized by Kim. More to come on what the next social will be. And we have a lot of a lot of fun, and hope to see you.
Thank you. And then just before we end, I want to remind you, I do need to know some information, some facts for the Rotarian magazine. So if you can come see me, they want to know about past speakers we had, and just want to confirm that we have had those people speak at our club. So if you can come see me afterwards, that'll be great.
Thank you, sir. Before we make the awards, I'd like to take a moment and have these three gentlemen stand. They were from Toastmasters clubs around town, and they are George Gilbert, Al Jensen, and Frederick Shelton. So thank you for your assistance. I understand you are very, very thorough. We will present our awards in reverse order along with their scholarship money. Our fourth place finisher, Morgan Ebers. Please come forward. Finishing in third place, Rochelle Flores. And our second place finisher with a check for $100, Alexander Pikes. And the winner of this year's four-way speech contest will go on to competition at the next level, and there's more scholarship money, and then ultimately, as I said, at the district level, and we'd like to think that she'll get there, Natalie Gilbert.
Anything else?
We're done.
Okay. Thank you. So, like I always say, and now you can start saying it with me, Rotary is like tennis. The one who serves best usually wins. Now go forth and make a difference.